The 100-day wilderness survival competition is held around the world. The winner will share $10 million. But the program prohibits exiting midway. Each person during the game. The prize pool has been increased by $100,000. If death is caused by challengers fighting each other, then the bonus will be doubled. And you who come through your soul was one of the 100 lucky people selected. The game starts. You will receive a survival backpack. In addition to the random items for survival, there is also the latest miniature video camera and 100 batteries. But at this time, the backpack was deliberately placed in a river full of man-eating crocodiles. Just as you are thinking, a cry for help suddenly came from the distance. It turned out that someone was trying to get it. The backpack chose to go into the water rashly. The man asked for help while swimming, but it quickly became a meal for crocodiles. See this scene. You just vomited. At the same time, a clown appears on the screen of your watch. Congratulations to all the challengers. You have one less competitor. The prize pool is stacked at 100,000. You glance at your watch. Sure enough, the prize pool changed from 1,000 to 1,010. After stabilizing the mood, you start to think back about what you have learned. How can I not go into the water? Successfully get the backpack. After a while, your eyes suddenly lit up. Then I found it in the woods. A mossy stone. Then smash it another boulder. Just an instant. The moss stone is cracked in pieces. I carefully chose a piece of length. After the tapered stone is used as a knife, you spend another half hour tear off some bark from the tree. After tying the bark rolled into a rope to the triangular branch, a simple hook is done. After that, you came to the river again in high spirits. Fortunately, the river is not very wide. It's only a dozen meters away from you. After 10 times, you finally put on your backpack. After pulling the backpack to the shore, you opened with excitement. However, it seems to be full of big bags. There is only a battery for the photographic equipment, a short knife a foot long, and a large pile of foam. See the situation. You are immediately very frustrated. TMD. It's been so hard. I actually only got one knife. But soon, you have regained your faith. The one that was eaten by the crocodile just now. The person hasn't gotten the backpack yet. I don't know if there will be anything good in that bag. Thinking of this, you immediately go upstream. With the experience just now, this time you obviously have to go a lot easier. It only took 6 times to hook the backpack. However, just when the backpack is still 3 or 4 meters away from you, a black caiman suddenly jumped out of the water. Bite on the bag. I saw a crack in my backpack. You suddenly turned red. I saw you immediately pick up a dead branch. Poke the crocodile in the eye. Give me a mouthful. After stabbing more than a dozen times in a row, the crocodile finally let go. You quickly pull the backpack in front of you with the trunk, looking at the huge opening on the bag. The more you think about it, the more angry you become. Wait for me. Sooner or later, Lao Tzu will eat you. After pouring out everything in the backpack, a banging sound catches your attention. It turned out to be a steel axe. This is an essential tool in the forest. Thinking of this, you are in a good mood. Then you find another pair. Jungle boots and a jungle survival guide. Ha ha ha. I have a lot of survival knowledge myself. Now there are even survival manuals and tools. I am bound to win this survival game. After bringing the camera to your head, you look at the gradually gloomy sky. You must find a safe place to hide as soon as possible. After half an hour of searching, you came under a big tree. Then you make a humble hammock out of vines. Still in a rotten thick wood. Some stag beetle larvae were found. This bug is rich in protein and calories. After removing all the heads and internal organs of the larvae, you swallowed several in a row. Night. You curl up in a hammock. Thinking about the next survival plan in my mind. There is no shortage of fresh water in the rainforest. Be sure to find a place to set up a shelter tomorrow. At this moment, a white light suddenly burst into the dark jungle. At the same time, the birds around him also became louder. You quickly stand up leaning against the trunk. After about 20 seconds, a spotted jaguar appears on you. Behind him, with a low roar, it fell. The jaguar quickly pounced on you. But it's a coincidence. It just hits your vine hammock. The next second, the jaguar fell off the vine. You are still in shock. The claw just now was obviously aimed at your head. If you get scratched, it is indispensable for the skin to open and the flesh to bloom. Don't wait for you to think about it yet. The jaguar under the tree climbed towards the tree again. Realizing that the guy was taking himself as prey, you suddenly open your voice and yell. Heard a sudden roar. The jaguar stopped climbing. One person and one beast confronted each other like this, just when you are ready to shout again. Thunder suddenly sounded in the sky. Suddenly startled the jaguar. A few seconds later, it jumped off the trunk and left. See it running away. You sit down. God. It seems that you still favor me. And at this time, downtown Akarath. An old man in a suit and leather shoes sits in the boss's chair. This person is the boss behind this wilderness survival. Major shareholder and executive president of GenePhone Group, Makoko Tangwide. Look at the huge display hanging in front of you. Makoko said lightly. Ugly Emperor, is there anyone outstanding in this year's challengers? The Ugly Emperor thought for a while. This year's challenger is much better than last time. So far, only 5 people have been eliminated. Among them, number 99 performed particularly well. Hearing this, a smile appeared on the corner of Makoko's mouth. It seems that this issue is ours. The number of hits should exceed 1 billion. At this time, the Ugly Emperor's face showed a look of worry. Sir, if no one survives this session, it will be difficult to recruit people in the future. Makoko's face was full of disdain when he heard this. Under heavy rewards, there must be brave men. There are many poor people in this world. There are not a few of them who are willing to gamble their lives for money. Hurry up and notify the Ugly. Let these people before sunset tomorrow. All remote recording devices must be turned on. Otherwise, it will be considered elimination. The Ugly Emperor nodded. The next morning, you wave your arms in anger. The first half of the night was because of rain. You barely slept well. But after the rain stopped, those annoying mosquitoes appear. After putting away the rattan and equipment, you can't wait to climb down the tree. Survivors want to find a habitat in the jungle. There is a very practical mantra. Watch the sun during the day. Watch the Big Dipper at night. It must not be left when it is dark and rainy. But this forest sky, it has long been covered by leaves. Through the tree growth direction, you decide to head north. It should receive sunlight there. Half an hour later, you suddenly stop. I saw a brown strip not far away. The python is rolling back and forth, and it is lying densely with ants. Marching ants. Marching ants are also called legion ants, up to more than 20 million individuals. They have the most powerful claw among ants. And it also comes with paralytic toxins. Ha ha ha. At this moment, you are extremely happy. Then you take out the palm leaf. The cover is on the python. Then jump on it and step on it. A few minutes later, more than half of the marching ants were killed or injured. After identifying the ants that did not survive, you cut off the snake's head with a knife. 2.5 hours later, you finally found the perfect place to build your shelter. Haha. It's not just a beautiful place to be, it also comes with 100 square meters. Private pool. Looking at the small waterfall in front of me, you can't help but laugh out loud. After determining that there are no dangerous animals, you rushed straight into the pond. After taking a shower, you decide to build a treehouse away from the ground. However, after a long journey of several hours, you're already hungry. See piranhas upstream. You suddenly have an idea. I heard that piranha tastes very delicious. Thinking of this, immediately take the snake meat to the upper reaches of the waterfall. Less than 5 seconds, piranhas was attracted by the smell of meat. See the situation. You immediately fork into the water with an improvised harpoon. Suddenly 2 palms were big. The piranha was forked up by you. In just a few minutes, you have crossed 18. After bringing the fish back to the camp, you are ready to make a fire and cook. Take out a black camera battery. Use a short knife to cut off the strip-like electrode head. Then put the blade on it horizontally. Just hear a hiss. The battery starts to smoke. You laugh and set the dry grass on fire. After a full meal, you lie on the ground contentedly. I wonder if the other challengers can eat meat. Thinking of this, you look at the black watch on your wrist. This look actually made you sit up directly. Because the number on the table has reached 1,100 at the moment. In less than 2 days, 10 people died. Your eyebrows furrow. Those who can actively sign up for this game. They must all have a skill. But I didn't expect it to be just one night. So many people still died. It seems that this forest is really dangerous. I think so. You have come to a dense forest. Building a treehouse requires thick, main trunk rattan and palm leaves. There is one near the main camp. Mainly collect some rattan and palm leaves. However, just when you are in a hurry to collect the rattan, a poisonous snake suddenly attacks you. When you see the appearance of the poisonous snake clearly, your heart is cold. It's over. It is a sharp-nosed viper. Sharp-nosed viper. A venomous snake that is even more venomous than a cobra. However, the habitat of this snake is generally in Asia. How could it be here? I didn't have time to think about it. You will be soon. Start examining the wound. But when you lifted your trouser legs, you breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that the bite just now bit on the shoe. Then you grab a bundle of rattan and smash it hard at the viper. After dealing with the viper, you decide to return to camp first. But after walking a kilometer, you suddenly find a strong man on the ground. The strong man lay motionless on the ground. There is also a camera on the head, obviously one of the challengers. And he also has a photo on his stomach. It seems that this strong man is so big. Probability is to save the little girl. After thinking about it, you decide to save this strong man. After treating the strong man's wounds, the sun has already set halfway through. Want to build a treehouse? Accurate measurement tools are required. Thinking of this, you decide to look at the strong man's. Is there anything available in the backpack? It turns out that what's inside surprises you. A saucepan, a hammer, a chisel and a tape measure. You excitedly hold a few things in your hands. With these things, then building a treehouse will get twice the result with half the effort. However, at this moment, the heavy rain suddenly began to fall. No way. You have to find a big tree to take shelter from the rain for the time being. It's raining. The beasts all went to take shelter from the rain. This way they are safe for the time being. And at this time, under a big tree more than 30 kilometers away, a middle-aged man in his 30s was leaning against the root of the tree to gasp. Just as he took out a first aid kit from his backpack, a human voice suddenly sounded. Brother Yong. He was there. The words just fell. A strong light suddenly shone on the face of a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man was so frightened that he got up and ran away. But he hadn't taken a few steps out yet, suddenly felt a tingling pain in the lower back, fell to the ground. Then two figures quickly ran in front of him. Both are carrying survival backpacks. Obviously also a challenger to this game. Death bald man. Then run. Let me go. I'll give you everything. Luli joked. Now figured it out. It's too late. Saying that, he slashed at the middle-aged man's body. Luli turned his head to look at Chen Xianyong. Brother Yong, should we continue to look for someone next? Chen Xianyong shook his head. We already have enough survival tools on us. Find a place to deal with it for a night tonight. Start looking for a camp tomorrow. After 3 months, he was directly killed. Finish. The two immediately turned and left. At the same time, inside the Agaras Triangle building, Makoko screamed happily. The game has only been around for 2 days. There is such a powerful picture. Once it is broadcast, it will definitely explode. Not long after, Makoko said to Ugly Yellow. From now on, the footage of these two people must be monitored in real time. And those who performed well, our show this time, the ratings are all up to them. Ugly Huang smiled and nodded. The next morning, you caught 23 more piranhas with the remaining snake meat. Just when returning to camp, a dagger-pointed knife is against your back. Who are you? You breathe a sigh of relief when you hear this. It seems that your body is recovering well. Less nonsense. Answer me. When you heard his words, you rolled your eyes. The herbs on your body are what I applied. Is this how you treat your savior? The strong man heard this. Hurry up and put down the knife. I'm sorry for this little brother. I didn't expect it to be in this game. And well-wishers like you. After that, I understood. You know the man's name is Fu Changxiong. I signed up for this show because of my daughter's illness. But he doesn't have any wild survival skills. If you hadn't saved him, he had long since died. Although Fu Changxiong has no survival skills, but it was very powerful, with his help. Soon the treehouse was built. At this time, you are sitting cross-legged in the treehouse. 8 green crabs are stewed in a pan. 5 crayfish. After the seafood is cooked, you keep yourself 4 crabs and a lobster. The rest was given to Fu Changxiong. But just when you are eating with relish, there was a sudden sound of hurried footsteps in the distance. Nobita, grab your weapon. Words fall. Fu Changxiong immediately picked up the axe and stood in front of you. Then the two of you came outside. Fu Changxiong took the lead in yelling. It's a wild boar. The words just fell. A wild boar hit an elephant-legged tree. Your bodies are all slightly tilted. I don't wait for your reaction yet. Another wild boar with a herd of piglets. The pig hit the trunk. You know, wild boars with cubs are extremely aggressive. Just smell other animals. Will not hesitate to attack. I think so. You hurriedly went back to the house and brought out a pot of hot water. It is said that dead pigs are not afraid of boiling water. I want to see if you 2 live pigs are afraid. Words fall. Boiling water pours down from the pot. A high-pitched pig cry. It instantly resounded throughout the night sky. After a while, the wild boar family disappeared from sight. See the situation. The two of you let out a sigh. Fu Changxiong asked with some concern. You say it's a social animal. What if it shakes more pigs tomorrow? Hear the words, your eyebrows suddenly raised. Then we'll slaughter them together tomorrow. One night passed. After breakfast, the two of you began to prepare for the wild boar hunt. The skin of the wild boar is very hard, trying to break the defense and cause fatal injuries. You must have a very sharp penetrating weapon. After careful consideration, you decide to set a few traps. A few hours later, you finally waited for two wild boars, one big and one small. Can't stand the temptation of food. The two wild boars quickly fell into the trap, but you are not in a hurry to show up. Because you know the screams of two pigs. It will definitely attract more wild boars. Sure enough, after 10 minutes, there was a violent noise in the distance. After a while, a herd of wild boars is mighty, appeared in front of your eyes. But those wild boars are also fast. All fall into your trap. However, when dealing with wild boar carcasses. But you found some human tissue. Nobita. These human tissues are still so fresh. People who can appear here at this time. It must also be a game challenger. I'm going up to get his survival backpack. After saying that, you will go to run away. It didn't take long for you to be in the grass. A black backpack was found in. You pick up the bitten rags. The backpack planned to run back. But he just ran 2 steps. I heard a voice coming from behind me. Wait a minute. You are stunned. Then it was found on a big tree. A man wearing round-rimmed glasses. Who are you? My name is Xiaojia. It was chased here by wild boars. Please save me. You frowned when you heard this. This man actually stuttered. But you are still serious. I can take you away. But you have to pack your backpack. Give me everything inside. Gon didn't hesitate. I agreed in one bite. He had been hungry for a day. If you stay in the tree again, sooner or later it will be a death. Took Xiaojia's backpack. You are overjoyed. There is actually a Nepalese in it. A saber and a saw more than a foot long. Little Jiba, you are really my lucky star. With that, you took Xiaojia towards the camp. Xiaojia is an orphan. Growing up in an orphanage. Not long ago, because of the behind-the-scenes boss divestment. The orphanage is about to close down. He accidentally saw a job posting for the show. As long as you sign the contract, you can get 100,000 yuan immediately. So he was with an older sister, signed up for this show. When returning to camp, Fu Changxiong had already completed the dismemberment of the wild boar. Then you set up a simple bacon rack. The average temperature in the rainforest is between 25 to 30 degrees. Meat is not only prone to spoilage, it also attracts other carnivores. The scramble. Therefore, the top priority is to put it on. These porks are smoked into jerky. 7 p.m. The 3 of you smoked meat at the same time. Eat the whole pig banquet with satisfaction. Xiaojia gave you a thumbs up with admiration. Brother Jean, your wife is amazing. Hear the words, your eyebrows furrow. If you have difficulty speaking, don't say it. Hurry up and eat. The danger tonight is not over yet. After smoking all the meat, they took turns on night duty. The 2 responded and began to eat. The time soon came to the next day. You planned to let Fu Changxiong and Xiaojia chop. Some trees were used as walls for shelter. But just when Fu Changxiong was able to cut hard in the forest, not far away, Xiaojia's scream suddenly came. Fu Changxiong saw this, hurriedly took the axe and met it. What's wrong? I met a wild boar, not a wild boar. It's a big python. The snake is eating people. Fu Changxiong heard this. Raise your eyebrows. Go, take me to see. A few minutes later, the 2 came to the end of the vegetation. At this time, a python was lying lazily on the ground, and next to it is a black backpack. Seeing this, Fu Changxiong pointed to the direction of 9 o'clock and said, after a while, I will go behind it and be responsible for luring it away. As long as it chases me, you immediately rush over to get your backpack. Finish. He went straight to the back of the swamp. However, he moved quickly as he walked. It attracted Senran's attention. No way. Fu Changxiong had to pick up a piece. The stone smashed towards the big snake. It hit the big snake in the neck all of a sudden. Then the big snake let out a low sound. Then he burrowed into the rotten wood forest on the side. Gu Changxiong looked puzzled. He originally thought there would be a fierce battle. Unexpectedly, the big snake escaped. I didn't have time to think about it. He quickly picked up his backpack. Then he took Gon back to the camp. However, after listening to what happened to the 2, you look speechless. A well-fed python generally does not take the initiative to attack people. That person is likely to be posthumous, be swallowed by a hungry serpent. Hearing this, the 2 suddenly realized. But after seeing the contents of the backpack, but you are directly happy. It's actually a compound bow. With a compound bow, it's no more. I'm not afraid of any large beasts. You were a member of the shooting club. Large beasts like wild boars and jaguars. Within 30 meters, you can hit it all in one hit. After a short break, you start building shelter walls for tree houses. An hour later, the three of you lay on the ground tired. Although these walls are extremely rudimentary, but you don't have to be careful. Beware of beasts in all directions. At the same time, in a dense forest in the northwest, a man and a woman are walking briskly with torches. The two finally escaped out of the dense forest, but it was blocked by a big river. Husband, what to do? The woman asked anxiously. However, before the man could answer, two figures suddenly appeared from behind the two of them. It was Lu Li and Chen Xianyong before. Half an hour ago. The two were gurgling hungry in the shelter. Unexpectedly, this man and woman rushed to stay overnight. This is really a lantern in the toilet. Looking for death and finding a home. Lu Li smiled smirkly. Originally, neither of my brothers wanted to kill anyone. But why do you have to deliver it to your door? The couple immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. But he was still kicked into the river by Lu Li. Brother Yong, tomorrow will be the 6th day. But now we don't even have a shelter. What to do? Hear his complaints. Chen Xianyong smiled disdainfully. Rest assured, soon we had free food and shelter. Until now, the remaining 65 challengers, basically already, found the camp. But most of them are gnawing on palm hearts. Eat wild fruits. A little bit of ability is just catching fish. Hitting birds can be achieved like the three of you. Pork is free and unique. The night passed quickly. You guys took a quick shower by the stream. Then a large pot of bone broth was boiled. Original and additive-free broth. That feeling is just one word. Fresh. After drinking the soup, the three of you came to the top of the mountain. Although you hunted a lot of wild boars with traps last time, but the Boar King was not among them. There should be no threat near the camp. Soon you are in the bushes. Some wild boar footprints were found. At this time, a leaf on the ground catches your attention. It is blood. This indicates 10 to 20 minutes ago. There have been battles here. Thinking of this, you hurriedly look for it nearby. According to the footprints on the ground, you come to a dense forest that you have never been to before. But it took 10 minutes, but nothing was found. But just when you were about to go back, suddenly jumped out of the bush, a jaguar pounces on you. After a short stunning, you pull the bowstring directly. Go to hell. With the bow and arrow passing through the abdomen, the jaguar let out an angry roar. Then he quickly ran to the rear. After running more than 10 meters, it fell straight to the ground. After a while, Xiaojia looked excited. Brother Xin, this is beauty. Jaguars? It's too beautiful. Okay, it's just a big cat. Hurry up and move back. It would be a pity if the meat went bad. You quickly interrupted him. The three of you will be there after going down the mountain. The jaguar carcass was disposed of by the stream. At this time, there are two figures hidden in the weeds. It was Lu Li and Chen Xianyong. The two looked at the jaguar in the distance, greedy drooling. Brother Yong, what are we waiting for? Take advantage of the big guy not paying attention. Give him a knife. As long as he falls, aren't the remaining two boys just cleaned up? Shut up. Do you remember what I said last night? What we are lacking now is a professional survival expert. Chen Xianyong scolded coldly. The two of them accidentally stepped on it last night, arrived at a pile of red fire ant colonies. The two of them still have itchy and sore ankles. If this continues, the game will not end. Chen Xianyong paused, continued, big men and small eyes are not bosses. It should be the other boy. Look at my eyes and act for a while. Finish. Chen Xianyong walked out of the grass. Saw the two. You instantly became alert. Stop. What are you going to do? Chen Xianyong smiled slightly when he heard this. Brother, don't get me wrong. We are here to surrender. Looking at the appearance of the two, the more you look at it, the more familiar it becomes. After about 10 seconds, you suddenly looked frozen. I was still on the bulletin board not long ago. I have seen photos of the two on it. Thinking of this, immediately full of bows. I don't need two wanted criminals to protect me. If you don't get out of here, then I can only give you a ride. Seeing his identity exposed, Chen Xianyong immediately shouted. Brother, don't be impulsive. We just want to exchange meals with you guys, said. Chen Xianyong took out a first aid kit from his backpack. Take a look. Suddenly his eyes lit up. Chen Xianyong saw this. A flattering smile. Brother, I have other treasures besides this bag. You suppress the excitement in your heart. Spoke. Okay, look at your attitude so sincere. I took this deal. But you have to hand over all the weapons on your body first. Hear the words? Chen Xianyong and the two immediately put it. First aid kits and backpacks were thrown hard. Looking at the dazzling array of drugs in the backpack, you smile from ear to ear, causing death in the rainforest. In addition to poisonous insects and beasts, there are also various bacteria. If with these drugs, it can greatly improve the survival rate. However, at this moment, Chen Xianyong, who was originally flattering, suddenly said, "Pull out a short knife from behind." The next second, he and Fu Changxiong fought together. At the same time, Lu Li suddenly stretched out his left hand and threw something at you. "Wait for you to open your eyes again. Lu Li's figure has came to me." But with a short muffled snort, it sounded. Lu Li collapsed to the ground. There was still blood flowing from the back of his head. It turned out that Xiaojie took a piece. The stone hit the back of his head. Xiaojie saw this. Pick up a stone block again. Xiang Xianyong smashed it. Attacked by stones. Chen Xianyong fell directly to the ground. You pat Xiaojie on the shoulder. "Xiaojie, well done. I'll give you extra meals tonight. After that, you will work together to bring the two of you." Together with the pig entrails, they were pushed into the river. Soon, a large group of piranhas floated up from the river. 8 p.m. You said with the broth. "Today's events teach us a lesson. Next, we don't just have to guard against wild beasts. Also guard against other challengers. From tomorrow, our first task is to strengthen the shelter. The second is to set traps." "Okay." Fu Changxiong and Xiaojie nodded in unison. The next morning, you split up and look for reinforcement materials according to the plan. No more than an hour, Fu Changxiong and Xiaojie found a large bag of palm leaves. On the way back, Fu Changxiong suddenly became excited. It turned out to be the chief of the ground not far away, covered with dense moss. Moss on the roof not only absorbs water, you can also resize it as you like. Immediately, the two couldn't wait to dig up. But neither of the two who worked seriously found out. Not far away, a pair of eyes were staring at them, and the owner of the eyes. It is the wild boar king weighing more than 300 pounds. Its nose was squirming. It seems to be sniffing not far ahead. Can these two people eat? Then it suddenly launched a charge at the two of them. Huge and fierce force. Directly flew Xiaojie out. Seeing this, Fu Changxiong immediately raised his spear. "Little Jiba, I'll lure it away. You go back to find Xiaoxing. Only his compound bow can kill this boar." Xiaojie immediately got up from the ground when he heard this. Run towards the distance, seeing the prey flee. The boar king went berserk completely. He slammed into Fu Changxiong frantically. One does not pay attention. Fu Changxiong was directly hit by the boar king and flew to the ground. Fortunately, there were no sharp debris on the ground. Fu Changxiong was not seriously injured, quickly got up and fled into the woods. And on the other side, you are planning to go home. But suddenly a figure crashed straight into you. You scream in pain. "Little Jiba, what are you doing?" Xiaojie squeezed out a few words with difficulty. "Big boar bear. Brother Xiong is on top. Dangerous. You go and save him." Hear the words, you immediately came to the top of the mountain with a compound bow. At this time, Fu Changxiong was sitting on the ground with a pale face. Obviously excessive blood loss. You hurriedly walked over. Not long after, in the treehouse, Gon has fallen into a coma because of the impact just now. No way. You can only help Fu Changxiong treat the wound first. "Big bear. Wild boars are omnivores. There will be a lot of bacteria in the mouth. I'm going to disinfect you with alcohol now. It will hurt. You have to hold back." Fu Changxiong heard this, nodded indifferently. At the same time, with the broadcast of 2 episodes, Twitter and the dark web have exploded. I can't imagine that we Chinese actually have survival masters, and still so young. The brothers are awesome, with 2 survival idiots. I can actually live a life of eating meat. For a time, people's attitudes towards you are the same. Watching the fun turned into radical touting. Another night passed. You come to the birch forest in the north. If you want to kill the boar king, you have to use a bow and arrow, and the birch branches are straight and thick. It is the best material used to make arrows. However, after walking a few miles, your face suddenly changed drastically. Golden poison dart frog. The most poisonous poison in the rainforest. Only 0.3 milligrams of toxin can be done. An adult convulsed to death. You retreated a few meters in horror, then choose to climb from another place. More than 40 minutes later, you stuff 55 branches into your backpack. Then I went to the next location with satisfaction. Next you have to hunt a bird of prey called the horned eagle. A qualified arrow must have a tail wing to maintain balance, and the feathers of the horned eagle are just right. Corrected the flight attitude of arrows. You listen carefully as you go. The surrounding birds chirped. Finally, after walking for more than 20 minutes, you find it at the top of a big tree. A pair of white-headed and black-bodied horned eagles. There are also 2 white eggs under the female eagle. It is clear that incubation work is being carried out. The corners of your mouth are slightly raised. It seems that today is going to buy 2 get 1 free. Then you bend your bow and arrow. The next second, an arrow was stuck directly in the back of the female eagle. At this time, the male eagle is flapping its wings next to the female eagle. Delusion to use this method to wake up the wife. Without thinking too much, you pull the bowstring again, aim at the male eagle, but just when you plan to bring your prey back to camp, a woman's roar came not far away. This kind of scum. It was useless to beg her. The words fell. Qi Xiaoyan suddenly pulled out a dagger. He stabbed the man with a flat head. The flat-headed man kicked him to the ground. Stinky girls, surrender your bow and camp early? How can there be so many things? Finish. He raised the machete in his hand and slashed at Qi Xiaoyan. At this critical moment, a sharp arrow suddenly pierced his head. Then another sword shot one of them in the head. The remaining person was so frightened that he hurriedly fled. Then you slowly came to Qi Xiaoyan. You are Qi Xiaoyan. Qi Xiaoyan was stunned. You know me. You nod. Your brother Qi Xiaojie showed me your photo. He is with me now. I promised him, if you're still alive, take you in. The hearing was dismissed. Qi Xiaoyan nodded excitedly. Great. Qi Xiaoyan was originally the boss of a 4-person team, proficient in swordsmanship. Although you can't eat big fish and meat every day, but you can also eat some game at both ends of the 3 days. But just today, suddenly a team appeared at their camp. Not only did they hack the only man in their team, a girl was also captured. Only Qi Xiaoyan relied on swordsmanship, escaped with Lu Sisi. After arranging for Xiaojie's 2 siblings to meet, you look at Lu Sisi. Do you want to stay here? Lu Sisi nodded immediately. I can keep you here. But you have to remember, I have the final say in everything here. Do you have any specialties? Hear the words. Lu Sisi was a little embarrassed. I can sew clothes. Is this a specialty? Your eyes are startled. Interest suddenly came. Help me make leg sleeves and sleeves. Can it be done? Said. You take out a bundle of boar skins and jaguar skins to him. Lu Sisi nodded confidently. If you just want to be able to put it on your leg, no problem at all. The biggest worry about surviving in the wild is your feet. If there is a boar skin leg cover, after that, you don't have to worry about walking outside. After that, it was tested. You find that the penetration of wooden arrows is weak. Such an arrow is not to mention killing wild boars. Shooting on a person is also unkillable, but soon you have a way. A few days later, after melting the existing knives in an earthen melting furnace, you have managed to get 40 steel arrows. The next morning, you take everyone to the wild boar's den to set traps. Soon, 7 wild boars were lured into the ambush circle by the bait. It didn't take long. 7 wild boars were killed by you and 7 Xiaoyan. This hunt. In total, you received 600 pounds of edible meat. So within this month, you won't have to worry about food anymore. An hour later, Lu Sisi asked curiously. Brother Xian, what are you doing? Hear the words. You don't reply. I am making salt. Tonight we are going to have a big meal with salt and flavor. Hear your words. Qi Xiaoyan and a few others also gathered around curiously. Brother Jean, you are sure that the ash can be turned into salt? You raised your eyebrows and explained. There is a potassium element in plant ash. It can be acidified or heated, in the same way as potassium ions. Then it goes through evaporation and crystallization and other processes. Salts such as potassium chloride can be obtained. Hear the words. Everyone nodded in sudden realization. However, 5 days later, the rainy season in the rainforest is coming. The water level began to rise. At this time, Lu Sisi ran over in a panic. Brother Xing, oh no, the water has risen to the mountain. And crocodiles. What? You widen your eyes. The face was full of incredulity. There are crocodiles you can understand, but how could this water flood the mountain so quickly? No way. You decide to abandon your existing camp, build a raft to escape. Can be done after escaping the danger zone. But you have encountered sharks. Bull shark. One is extremely aggressive. Sharks that can adapt to fresh water. If the raft is destroyed, there is no possibility of survival. Thinking of this, you decide to lure the bull shark into the bait with unprocessed fish. Soon, the bull shark was attracted by the smell of blood. Then you and Qi Xiaoyan shot arrows at the same time. It didn't take long. The bull shark dived underwater with an injury. See the situation. You quickly row the raft forward. The next morning, the water level began to drop. At the same time, the clown Ugly appeared on everyone's watches again. Dear challengers, congratulations on this once in 50 years. Survived the heavy rainstorm. Now there are 50 challengers left. From now on, the prize money from the fight will be doubled again. In addition, the top 10 of the popularity rankings have appeared. Killing them will grant you the corresponding bounty. I hope you will continue to work hard. No surprise, you come in first place with a $5 million bounty. Lu Sisi saw this, hurriedly said nervously, Amazon is so big, why don't we find a place to hide first? You sighed helplessly. You thought this watch was just record bonuses and communications. There is definitely a positioning function on it. Now we can only take one step at a time. Time soon came to the evening. A few of you are lying on the raft and sleeping soundly. At this time, a raft appears around you. But just when it was still 10 meters away from you, you suddenly get up and shout, "Do it!" Immediately afterwards, 2 arrows were fired. Alan and Fred's screams immediately resounded through the night. See this scene. LeBron was so frightened that he abandoned the boat and fled. You already know that the other party will act at night, so the plan was set up in ambush. After looting the materials on the 2 of them, you got more than 10 knives. At the same time, the prize pool also stacked up to $19.1 million.